ladies and gents in Cyberland, coming back to you with another game review of, I guess now, Mega Man 2. So, as I said in my video for the review of Mega Man 1, I ended up playing 4 first, and then I went and did 2, then I did 3. Because 1 was too fucking hard. So with Mega Man 2, it was just a huge difference between the first Mega Man game and moving forward. Mega Man 2 was where the things were totally wrong with Mega Man 1. They fixed it with Mega Man 2 immediately. I mean, I didn't play the game when it first came out, of course, but they just, I guess they must listen to the people of the gaming community, or I don't know, but they did a damn good job of making this game such a huge step forward. So, you know, as far as, see, it's glitching, like, even when you play, the original, we play the Anniversary Collection, there's still, it's the same program from the original Mega Man 2, like, because that spot with Metal Man always had that glitch where you couldn't see yourself for a minute, especially if you got hit. But nonetheless, the game, it was just a huge improvement, huge improvement. It was still difficult, but it wasn't as hard or unbearable as Mega Man 1. This time, we had the ability to write passcodes to save your data. I mean, it's not going to save your lives or your energy tanks, but it would just say where you, like, if this was the last robot you beat, it has the information to, you just got to enter that code, you got to write it down, keep it somewhere hidden, or keep it somewhere, write it down, and then when you plug in those codes, you can come back and kind of start off, or come back and keep going where you left off. And that was huge, especially for the time when it came out, because that wasn't a common thing. I think Zelda and I think Mega Man were the first games that incorporated that. I mean, there probably might have been maybe a couple others, but I don't know. Maybe Castlevania, maybe, but definitely when they did that with 2, it was just, oh, thank you. You know, this was, I mean, it was a huge thing for its time. The game pretty much is it's 6 months after 1. Wily got his ass kicked, and instead of stealing Dr. Light's robots like he did the first time around, because, you know, the original 6 were not Dr. Wily's robots, those were Dr. Light's robots, he reprogrammed them. Wily makes his own set, which I think he was actually building during Mega Man 1, and then he releases them to get revenge and stuff, and you gotta go, instead of being 6 now, it's officially moving forward, it's always 8 robots. But it's still the same process where, you know, one power will hurt this robot in particular, so you want to go fight this robot and then this robot and that kind of thing. Energy tanks, I believe the max you could have was 5. And that was the first introduction of that as well. Music-wise, is more memorable. There's been times where I've heard people do covers, like music covers of the music from Mega Man 2 and 3 in particular, as opposed to any of the other Mega Man games, not so much. The music was very memorable, and it's a lot of people tend to like the music from Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3, especially Mega Man 2. I hear more covers and music covers of Mega Man, like full band kind of thing of Mega Man 2 than technically any of the others. Difficulty it wasn't too bad. It was just, how do I say, the levels weren't hard, even when I originally played on Nintendo. You know, I would say the hardest level for the original Mega Man 2 was Quickman, because you had to go through this area where these things were coming out of the walls, and if you get touched by it, you die immediately. There's no oh, you just get hit. No, you get touched, you die. So that was a pain in the ass. But I wasn't too bad. The boss levels with Dr. Wily were, for the most part, I think the dragon at first was a little difficult, but if you used the ability that you needed to really quickly, you could whoop its ass real quick and be done. The only other difficulty I remember from Mega Man 2 was Wily, the ending of him. Not the final level, but the one before that. That was difficult. That was always difficult for me because it required this ability I was using right now from Crash Man, and if you ran out, you were screwed. You could not destroy the boss any other way. No other weapon would work on it. And I remember when I played Mega Man 2 doing that the first time, I was like, shit! I was so mad because I couldn't do anything, and I knew that the only result is to start over, which when you start over for saving information, it doesn't save the boss levels, so keep that in mind, that you have to start from the first level of the boss place. Either that, or now with the anniversary, you can just kind of save that spot and just redo the fight if you're smart enough to save where you were. So, that's kind of the thing with the anniversary collection. As far as outside of that, no, it was pretty good. I think my only gripe with Mega Man 2 was there was an issue with one of the I don't think the abilities worked properly on all the robots. I think there was a glitch in this one. I don't think they fully had everything working effectively until 4. So you'd be like, well, wait a minute, I'm doing this, but this isn't working. What the hell's going on? Blah 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 blah. But nonetheless, it was like minor gripe. I think too, Mega Man 2 was such. I've read that it's liked by the gaming community in 2 and 3, and I think the reason now when I look back on it, I think 2 is liked so much because 1 was unfortunately so bad. 2 just made it fun to play a Mega Man game. It was actually, it had its moments, but overall, the dragon. The dragon wasn't hard. It was trying to stay on these little blocks and not fall off. That was the problem. But you do this thing really, really fast and make sure he doesn't hit you, and then you're done. You just got to be real quick about it. And use Quick Man's ability too. I think because Mega Man 1 was so bad that there was nowhere to go except to improve, and the improvements were so great that people just gravitated towards Mega Man 2 as being one of the greatest Mega Man games. It was just, it's not my favorite, but I would rank it in the higher. If I was going to rank the Mega Man games, I would put it in the higher bracket, probably the top. I don't know. Probably the top 5. Yeah. I definitely would put 2 and 3 and 5. And I would put 8. I would probably, just for Mega Man, not including X. So it's one of those things. As far as the anniversary collection, there isn't anything different from the original set. It's pretty much the same game. The only difference is moving forward is that you can save. It still has the glitches from the original Mega Man for sure. So as far as where it glitched in Mega Man 2 on Nintendo, it has the same spots where it glitches. As far as abilities, you just have... Oh, yeah, that's right. So, this time around, too, they definitely did put a lot more stuff into this game. So, when you're playing this, not only do you get the abilities from the robots that you beat, But Dr. Light also supplies you with some extra stuff too that'll kind of help you get through certain parts of the game, and you have the ability to utilize that stuff if you so choose, which I did for the most part. It would make it get me past certain parts. I was like, I'm not doing this. Oh, I'm not doing that. Let me get through that. And I think the items were all red, but it kind of makes, now when I think about it, it's almost like Rush wasn't ready yet, but it's interesting that these items by Dr. Light were all red, and then when Mega Man 3 comes around, you know, Rush, his stuff is all red. So it's kind of like they might have already been working on that when they were doing 2, but it wasn't finalized yet. So that was kind of interesting too. I think the other thing with this game that I really enjoyed was that it just wasn't as difficult to get through things. Even on the first try of the levels, when you would go through, sure, you get killed, you know, because you don't know the level yet. But that's it. The learning curve for Mega Man 2 was just so much easier. It was fun. It had its moments where you just didn't feel like you were struggling, or that you just couldn't get past the levels. Whereas 1 was just, nope, you do this wrong, you die. Nope, you do this wrong, you die. Nope, you do this wrong, you die. Mega Man 2 had a lot of parts where you get hit right here, you're not going to die if you move real quick after you got hit. You know, if you fall in the pit, you die. But Mega Man 2 had those moments where you get hit right here, it's still possible to live. You get hit right here, it's still possible. Oh yeah, I remember I messed up right there. You know, you do this right here, there's still a possibility you can make it. You know, they didn't make it to where it was just like, you mess up, you die. You mess up, you die. You know, there was a little bit of leeway to kind of, you know, make it a little better for people. The one thing that was weird though is what I never understood was the final boss. I always felt like that was kind of that was also one thing I was like, what the hell is this? It just kind of came off like, was this a robot or was it something else? And I don't want to spoil it for people who have never played this game, because there's somebody out there who probably want to play this game after I talk about it and stuff. So hopefully my review kind of gets you to be interested in checking it out. But yeah, that was the one thing too that was kind of like, what the hell? Even as a kid, I was like, what the hell is this? My rating for the game is a 10 out of 10, yes sirs. Mega Man 2 is a classic. Mega Man 2, where everything that was done wrong with Mega Man 1, they set things right with Mega Man 2. Like I said, the music, the gameplay, the abilities, and really the biggest thing was the difficulty. Just the energy tanks. I have to say, the energy tanks made the game easier. This game, I do feel that if you didn't have the energy tanks, you still would have an easier time beating it instead of 1. Definitely. Yeah, those damn things at Quick Man's level, that was pain in the ass. I feel that if they didn't put the energy tanks in 2, and they didn't do it until 3, I definitely feel you still could beat Mega Man 2 quicker and easier, and less, and you would be less likely to be frustrated as opposed to 1. I think the only thing that would have been that would have given me a more reason to give Mega Man 1 a higher score is if it had energy tanks, because it was just too fucking hard. It was just too hard. 2, I could see myself, if I really tried, I could beat it without energy tanks if I really wanted to. Because all the and the crazy thing is, the Wily's robots in 2 were harder than the robots in 1. That's the interesting thing. I think I didn't mention that in 1. When you got to all the boss fights for just the robot boss fights, you could technically kill every single one of them with your Mega Blaster. It would take only a couple hits and it was done. But it was almost near impossible to get to them without being killed. That was the biggest issue. Whereas in Mega Man 2, they flipped it. The levels were not as difficult to get through to get to the Wily's robots, whereas opposed to fighting Wily's robots, even with the right ability, it still could be a little bit of a challenge to where if you're not careful, you're going to get killed. So that was the other thing. So with that, see, I fell in the lava. I didn't fully die. That's the forgiving part. So that being said, you know, you won't be... Mega Man 2 is a great game. You won't be disappointed with it. Definitely play it. And of course, definitely play it before you even play 1. That's for damn sure. So with that being said, I will catch you guys on the next one. Ciao.